Hey everybody, today we're going to take a little bit of time and talk about my QuickSilver 8.1. It's a 2013 model. It's the 4th season now since it's 2017. I have my beautiful wife with me. She's laughing because I just killed an ant. Alright, we just got back from a trip to Michigan. The trailer's been used in Michigan, Maine, New Hampshire, and New York State, some of those states several times. There hasn't been any real major issues with this. There's a little bit of wear and tear on it now. We've had some mildew or whatever just on the one half of the bimini top. If you look at the first part of the two-part review of the trailer, which is right after we first used it, you'll see that the top is two different colors, two different materials. I think it's just they were in the middle of a production run and ran out and used something different or whatever, I don't know. But we sprayed it with some stuff. It hasn't really been an ongoing issue. Now, I just want to talk about some necessary equipment and some other things that we learned after using it over the course of 4 years. Now, the most important thing I think you need if you own one of these trailers is one of these. It's a snap tool. I have a video on it. It's very simple to use, but indispensable. Like this is truly the one thing that you need. Other tools that you kind of need to make sure that you have is some kind of lug wrench for the tires. Knock on wood, never been an issue for us, but I always bring one that I know works on the trailer tires. Also need some small wrenches and stuff because where the bimini top comes down and pivots from, those sometimes, well, one time came loose in transit, and you need like a number 1 Phillips and a 7/16 wrench to get that all back together. You know, a couple small adjustable wrenches never hurt. Level, I like to have with me just to help level it up when I get outside. Some kind of multi-tool, which I always have on me, but there's several in the truck, several in the camper. Always good. This little attachment is for the city water, so that the hose is hanging straight down instead of putting tension on the part that goes into the camper. This last time we had city water. You don't always have city water, but depending on the campsite. But we got one of these two-way setups, so city water can run through there, and then if we need water outside, we just use, you know, the other side. Pretty important to have. It comes with an electrical cord, but it's some kind of special RV style. This adapter will allow it to run into a regular 120 volt outlet that you sometimes run across, so having this kind of adapter also pretty important. This came with it, right? I think.
I don't
She doesn't remember. I can't remember if this came with it or I made it, but this is for the outside drain.
Looks like you made it.
What?
Looks like you made it.
You think I made it? I probably made it. It's for the outside drain.
It's gross. The gray water tank?
Yeah, the gray water tank is an external tank. I just use a brand new, never had petrochemical in it, diesel 5-gallon jug, blue jug. So, yeah, I think this is just a piece of hose that I put on a fitting in a hose thing, a barbed hose fitting. If you have, that's if you don't have city soar. If you have city soar, I made this. This is a little hose fitting right here, with a closeout 4-inch PVC thing. And I just drilled a hole, used some JB weld, whatever. Okay, so that's all stuff that you kind of need to make the camper run the way it should. Other things that we bought that we've obviously found very useful: 2-burner propane stove. I think we're going to do a little review on that shortly. Other stuff we have that we purchased to make living in this thing and using this thing a little easier. Porta potty, right? I have a review on that.
Yes.
That's my wife's favorite thing in the trailer.
Outside the trailer.
Outside of the trailer. True or not true?
Very true.
Very true.
I wouldn't be in this without it.
Yeah. Now, when we first got it, we used it inside the trailer. We've since moved
It's
to
gross.
a little porta potty tent outside. She likes that a lot better. Speaking of tents outside, when we first did it, we tried doing it without any kind of tarp. Well, we brought a tarp, but the first time, I think we didn't use any tarp over the picnic table. And we didn't really run into rain. But if you run into rain, obviously you need some kind of tarp over the picnic table, because while you can eat off of this dinette. We almost never set the dinette up or cook in here doing that. We do it all outside. I heard somebody say once that small trailers are meant to be lived out of, not lived in.
Well,
So
there's 4 of us.
There's
so
4 of us, right? So we're
instead of breaking down a bed every night, setting up a table, it's more work for me.
right. So we just eat
So
outside.
we live outside.
Right. So anyway,
Cook outside, live outside.
it's definitely good to have a tarp. Along with the tarp, you need rope, assorted bungee cords, different sizes, 550 paracord, all that junk. Good to have with you. Whatever. When we're going to a campsite that has electrical power, we bring my old dorm fridge and set it up off the door side cabinet. We set it up on top of there with some homemade legs to like stabilize everything. We take a like 24-inch by 24-inch window fan, usually suspended off of this bimini bar right here, just to keep air moving through. That also would have helped. We didn't have it prevent. We didn't have electric, of course, that time with the time in New York State where we got the little bit of mildew. Keeping air moving through here all the time, I think, is kind of important.
But we have little fans.
There
that
are
came
little
with lights.
12-volt fans with lights that came with the trailer.
But if you don't have power, you're
But if you
screwed.
don't have power, you're running off that battery anyway. So it's whatever.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, right? But anyway, recently, and there's going to be a separate review on it, we got a Nemo bug-out tarp that also has no seam sides that work pretty well. Pretty critical to have somewhere to go outside where you can kind of be bug-free. And if you don't have a tarp with netting sides, no seam sides, it's best to have some kind of citronella candles or other methods to keep the bugs off you. And that's it. Like, what else you're pretty happy with the trailer after 4 years, right?
I don't mind it.
I know you don't mind it, but like, I personally would buy another one of these. I think it's worked out. It goes and fits in the garage when it's down, which probably helps that it's stored inside, I think.
Oh, it's as far as construction goes, it's held up well. I mean, I wouldn't, like, if we traded this in tomorrow, which I know we're not going to do, I wouldn't get another pop-up.
Yeah, I don't know that I would necessarily get another pop-up. And
just because of the taking down and the putting up, you always have to deal with the weather.
The weather. Yeah, like the last trip to Michigan, we just...
And you have to set it up every time you go someplace.
Right. Yeah, if you were traveling cross-country with this is the problem with any pop-up and this one as well. If you're traveling cross-country and you're setting it up every night and taking it down...
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
If you did the tent and everything, and the porta potty, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, if you did the whole setup.
And we like to sometimes move from campsite to campsite, 2 places in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we try. So yeah.
And it was the best this time because we were just in one spot for 2 weeks.
Right.
For me, it's a lot. It's a lot of.
It is, but as far as like,
it's not horrible.
If you're traveling cross country, you wouldn't set up all the extra accessories.
No, you couldn't.
You would just like open it, sleep in it, close it down.
Right.
But I will say, we were at the Jack Pine Lodge in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and the day that we were supposed to leave, overnight, and that whole day, it was supposed to rain. It was supposed to start raining like at 4 or 4:30. So we packed everything up, like literally anything that wasn't essential for sleeping was packed up and put in the truck
the night
before. And then we set the alarm, even though there's quiet hours at most campgrounds, including this one. But we set the alarm, got up at, like 3:30?
Yeah.
And then we put the kids in the truck, because they're noisy and they're, whatever. They normally help set up and pull down, but we put them in the truck so they wouldn't disturb anybody. And as quietly as we could, with headlamps on, took this bad boy down, hooked up, drove out to the road, which is far away from where everybody was, and finished closing it all up. As far as the tonneau cover that goes over the top of this and whatnot. Yeah, we snuck out of there. How long do you say it took us to do that? I'm going to say like a half hour. But mostly 20 minutes, I'd say. And that
just to drop it down.
Just to drop it down and get it out of there. And that was being as quiet as church mice as we could.
We're not allowed back there anymore, but...
That's not true. Nobody said anything. Whatever. Yeah, so we snuck right out there, and that's all because of the weather. And then on top of that, we had to face a 16-hour ride home. which thankfully was uneventful. But yeah, these are all things you got to consider. Whereas if you had a travel trailer, it doesn't matter if it's raining, right? You close the door, you hook up, you drive away.
And it's nice to have it already set up.
Yeah, right.
You can always...
You can just park it.
Yeah. With stuff in it.
With stuff in it, and you just go in, sleep, get out, drive to the next place. But that said,
we don't have
if
the room
anybody's
for...
seen my backstory video on this, the philosophy behind it, why we did what we did,
right.
I think it's worked out great.
Oh yeah,
it's continuing to work out great.
We couldn't afford a 2-week vacation to the Upper Peninsula in a hotel
with 4 people.
With 4 people, and to do all the stuff that we did.
Yeah, we did a lot of activities.
So for me, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
you know, it is what it is, but I honestly don't mind it. Is it the lap of luxury? No.
No, it's not the lap.
I'm dry and I'm warm.
You're
and
off
I'm off the ground, which I don't like sleeping on the ground anymore.
Too old for that. She has slept on the ground before. She's pretty tough, but we're getting old. My back is bad.
I just don't want to sleep on the ground
you don't
anymore.
Want to be on the ground.
Yeah, so it serves its purpose. And it's not a skanky hotel room.
And it's not a skanky hotel room, that's right. Okay, so yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, or you have questions for my wife, what it's like to be a pop-up homemaker, if you will, since the brunt of what's necessary for us to have a vacation falls on her shoulders. If anybody has questions for her about this, that, or the other thing, that's great. If you have questions for me, that's great. I just want to say this is probably the 4th or 5th video that relates to the trailer itself. I've gotten some complaints in the past, like the backstory one. People were upset that wasn't a review in and of itself, but I thought that video would help give some perspective to what was going to happen afterwards. I got some people complaining that there's only one part to the 2-part video, even though it says part 1. They couldn't find the other one, which is a little weird. They're like, hey, where's part 2? I'm like, it's the next video in line. So yeah, I mean, whatever. So yeah, this is not, if you came here looking for a standalone review and just got us chit-chatting about some ancillary crap concerning the pop-up, I'm sorry, it's not a review, but I have a fairly long 2-part review. I'll try to link to it in the bottom, but don't be upset if it's not a review and you wanted a review. Okay, these videos are meant to be taken in series as a whole overview. Consider this one just an update, and that's that. What do you got, something in your eye?
Yeah.
You want me to lick it out of there?
No. It's disgusting. Why don't you do an updated review if that's what people want? I would rather have a review of something that's been used for a couple of years than somebody that just pulled it out of the bag.
We basically just gave it a review.
Right.
If you want to see how this thing gets set up or see more of the features, just look at that older video. It's all the same. But after 4 years of using this thing, I'm still as happy and as dissatisfied as I was in the beginning. And there's still some nagging issues that I addressed in the first couple videos. They're still there. But for the most part...
Oh, the door. I don't really like the door either, but that's part of a pop-up, too.
Yeah. Well, especially this
thing's
like a 2-part door, so...
Yeah, it's a Dutch door on the bottom and a screen on top, but that's part of it.
Yeah, just getting in and out of this thing is not fast.
No, and it allows for bugs to get in.
Right.
There's mosquito carcasses in here. I cleaned them up, but...
Yeah. But I know, like, listen, every trailer has its own idiosyncrasies. This one's no different. That said, this thing, thing is holding up fine.
It is.
I'm not sure if I had a traditional pop-up, it would still be holding up fine.
Oh yeah,
you have, like,
in
with
good
wood,
shape.
Probably this doesn't smell bad.
No, it still smells like when it was brand new.
Yeah, it smells like canvas in here. It doesn't smell weird. No rotting wood or whatever.
Just a little mildew. That's it.
Yeah, only in that one spot, really. So, yeah.
Hope we haven't bored you.
Yeah, my wife just said, I don't know if you heard her, she hopes we haven't bored you. We probably have. If we've bored you, feel free to say we've bored you in the comments. We don't really care. We're trying to be helpful. If you don't like it, too bad, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, if you guys have any questions about this DIY nonsense that I built, or you want to see specifics, whatever, feel free to ask. It's pretty boring. Alright, thanks for watching. We hope it was helpful. See y'all later. Right, Nick?
That's right.
Are you picking toe jam out?
No, I have from, I get like, is this still on?
Yeah, but I'll cut it out.
I'm gonna have problems since showering and my toes not drying. Now I have like some...
Oh, you got jungle rot?
A little bit of jungle rot.